Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so Libras, because we have got this doorway behind me, I want to ask, what is that doorway representing? Okay, so we're going to start out with a chakra deck. And we'll see what we end up with. All right, Libras. Ooh, the heart chakra, Princess of Wands. So that doorway, walking through that door, and granted, the door is closed right now, but that's only because we haven't knocked on it and opened it up yet. Um, this is the doorway to the heart. It's the doorway to opening up the magic. You notice how we have like these little fairies and butterflies all around. This is like opening up the doorway to the, I'm going to say everything from the healing energy, the growing energy, something gentle, something sweet. This is a new beginning for sure, because this is just a page. The page of wands is the princess of wands in this deck. So it's a new sweet spark. It feels very light. It feels very nurturing. Even it feels like that's a nice way to start out a story. This feels like a new romance to me. This does not feel like exes. This does not feel like any of that. 10 of wands in the reverse. Yeah, this is after a Libra has been they've been buried. I'm going to say what I have in my mind right now is the image of somebody who survived a big fire, but there was so much layer of ash that they're like digging their way out of ash right now. I mean, we see with the 10 of wands, there's, fire and smoke, but I'm picturing somebody who's digging their way out of a bunch of ash. So still kind of fuming. And now, of course, we got the 3 of swords. Here's the thing. This 3 of swords is still in the upright. But we have somebody walking through a new doorway. I actually think that this could be the Libra is the person whose heart is about to be cleaned up. And we could have a divine masculine that is now brokenhearted, knowing that the Libra is actually moving forward. So basically, as they walk out of the door and their heart feels so much better and they enter into a new heart space, someone else is sitting here feeling the loss. Well, I don't know what to say about that. It's I'm not sure, we haven't clarified that yet. We will in a minute, but let's keep going first. 5 of wands. This has been a Herculean effort for this Libra's heart to actually get lighter and brighter, for them to heal, for them to be able to move forward. There's been a lot of back and forth. There's been a lot of like, I have to be consistent. I have to do this. I have to move forward. 8 of cups and 6 of coins. This is someone who did not want to meet a new person. Maybe they didn't want to meet anybody for a while. But at this point, they are choosing themselves. They're choosing, I've got that awesome song by Sia in my mind right now, Elastic Heart. Great lyrics in that song. Tell me about the 3 of swords, because for some reason, even though we see that the Libra has overcome some really significant hurt, I still feel like there's a divine masculine who is weeping as the Libra walks away. The lovers. Okay, so that heartbreak, this could be that this divine masculine now knows that I mean, maybe they were someone who was fickle, or maybe they always thought, oh, I can always come back to Libra at some point. I'm a bird, I fly away, but then I get to come back. And they're realizing they can't come back. The Libras moved on without them. We see a divine masculine sitting here crying big old crocodile tears. And that's because of the Lovers card. Maybe they chose somebody other than the Libra at one point, and now they're like, 8 of swords, 10 of cups. So somebody is feeling like they can't access the Libra anymore. And the Libra, they know without a shadow of a doubt now, that is their 10 of cups. So this person is going to, or, it could be reversed roles as well. But we got somebody crying and somebody else moving on from this hurt. So the person who's sitting here crying, I think that the Libra went through plenty of hurt and pain already, but if they finally have released themselves from this, their heart has finally healed. That might be why the full impact of the lost relationship is hitting that divine masculine so hard at this point. They always thought that they could come back. we see wings twice. They realize now they never listened to their guides, their higher self. And at this point, although they know that this maybe they got themselves stuck somewhere. Maybe that's why they're really crying big crocodile tears. I mean, I don't really want to focus on whomever is so heartbroken here, because that's not the point of this. The point of this is we've got a character who is their heart is healed and their heart is moving on. But because this did come out, we do have to talk about it for just a moment. This was a really difficult situation for our lead character to walk away from. And the person that they're walking away from is actually the one having the much harder time at this point. Maybe they chose someone other than the Libra. Maybe they thought they could have more than one person. You know, the Lovers can be a card of choice. Maybe they went back to some ex only to realize now they're stuck with that ex. And now they realize the Libra, this is like their rear view mirror. They're realizing that the Libra was actually their happiness. So why on earth? Why would they have gone back to an ex? Why did they migrate back to somebody else? And now they say, and I can't get out of this now because the Libra's already moved on through that doorway, and I can only live in the rear view mirror of, I remember once upon a time I could have had it all with the Libra. The Libra's not feeling this hurt though. The Libra's not feeling any of that. Their heart is clean. Tell me about the Libra's heart being so refreshed over here. Five of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. And this is one of those stories where we have this divine feminine who's like, I'm blooming again. I'm happy again. It's the divine masculine who stands here in ashes. It's funny how I imagine somebody that was like, climbing out of ashes. And you notice how there's this stitched up part in their heart, where their heart used to be. Somebody made a really poor choice. But at this point, it's the Libra who's like, never again. I'm not letting that person come back in. I don't care how sad and sorry they are. I don't care. That's over for me. And I came to the end of my rope with this person. I came to the ledge and I looked at everything and I said, that person, they're not my person. So I put up a boundary. And I said, no, thank you anymore. And finally, that's why my life is unfurling again. That's why my broken heart is finally able to love again. I think that this Libra had a pretty big broken heart, or whomever our lead character was. They come across as a divine feminine. And it comes across as if a divine masculine is the one that is in a tremendous amount of sorrow at this point, knowing that they messed this up, knowing that they lost that person. I don't really want to harp on anymore about the whole, the Lover's card and everything. To me, that looked like someone who went back to a former partner, and that was the biggest mistake of their entire life. They should have built something with the Libra, and they didn't. They went back to a former partner, and now they've lost their Libra for good. The Libra, let's get back to them, right? Because this was hard. This was really hard to move on from. Maybe they felt the pull of that person so many times. Like, I can feel that they want me, but this is a mess. I don't know what is going on. There was a lot of thought process, and the Libra really got themselves out of this. They really, you notice how they're swimming up toward the, like the jellyfish, and toward this little bubble of oxygen, and toward this wisdom, and they've changed their life around, and now finally they're going to get what they actually want, which is someone who gives equally, not somebody who bounces and goes back to some ex, not somebody who, it sucks that this was such a that this ever had to hurt the Libra so much. I don't really I mean, maybe it sucks that everybody was hurt, but at this point, it no longer matters because there's been healing. There's been a new opportunity. Maybe Libra had to get fed up and say, I've come to the end of this. I'm not doing this anymore. And that's why now their life is getting better. We just got the Queen of Swords. So definitely our divine feminine. Libra here is, and when I say that, it does not have to be a woman, right? It could be a masculine just as easily, but I'm going to keep saying divine feminine because that's what we've seen pretty much exclusively on the cards. Got an Ace of Swords. We got the Ace of Pentacles again. Aces coming up a lot. That's because this Libra is very in charge of their own life. Their heart is really, they're ready for something new, and they know it. They're cognizant of it. This is not a character who's just like, oh, I kind of finally have healed, but I don't know what I want next. Oh no, 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 no. They know exactly what they want next. They hold their destiny in the palm of their hand. Also, this is a very empowered Libra. Their heart is clean. They're Six of Cups. They got a soulmate coming in. This is nice. Good for you. Good for you, darling. I like this character's vibe. Three of Cups. They're about to have a really fun time. They're about to actually jive with somebody that is loving and sensitive and kind, and somebody that is actually going to feel like they're in sync, in harmony with a partner this time. And why then do we have the Tower? Because this is like mind blown, right? This is a Libra who's about to have like a really awesome energy of change in their world. Maybe they've never met somebody like this. Eight of Wands, King of Wands, Five of Cups. Okay, so the only thing that could upset the apple cart here could be that all of a sudden a loving message that is possibly a tearful one as well could actually come in out of nowhere on at an odd time, on an odd day. All of a sudden this unexpected heartfelt message could come in, and this could be coming in from that divine masculine that was so brokenhearted. They may be finally saying, I mean, this could be like the drunk dial of like, I miss you so much. I can't believe that this got messed up. That's kind of what this is looking like somebody suddenly on the otherwise awesome day. Maybe this is after Libra has an amazing date with a new soulmate, and they're having a great time, and spending time with a new romantic partner, spending time with friends, just having an amazing day. They get this kind of like bam out of the clear blue sky, this message that comes in. I'm not going to say the Libra's gloating, but we do have a Nine of Cups, and this is somebody who's kicking back on, you know what? This is actually helping me recognize just how happy I genuinely am. And I'm not going to say that this is like some arrogance where it's like, ha ha, they miss me. We have a Three of Swords, but this is like cleaning out the energy. So we saw that Libra's heart was clear of this in the beginning, but we also saw that it took a lot of effort for them to move on from this kind of hurt. And we saw that divine masculine was still in a lot of wounded energy over this situation. This message that suddenly comes in, you notice how it's ruffling all the papers, but it's like fresh air has finally come in. I almost think that if there was any little wound or bitterness that still resided somewhere in Libra's heart, this message is actually a gift. Instead of it disrupting everything, I actually think that we have the Star card and we have the Ace of Wands. It could be the message that actually like really cleans out that stagnant energy. It allows final healing to come in, and it really formally like solidifies. Like this is almost like a gift, which is a strange thing to say, but this message it does shake something up, and it may be the final thing to like round this out so that Libra is completely healed of this and they are fully ready to embrace like the next phase of their life, like really happy. This, and maybe that sounds a little bit mean-spirited, where it's like finding out that an ex is this broken up over them, the very ex who might have chosen somebody other than them and now desperately wants them back. That, I'm not going to say it's a feather in one's cap, but it is a little bit like, you know what, universe, thank you for letting me know that at least at some point in time they actually realize what they lost, and that has helped me heal. So it was a gift to me, not because they're oh so sad and oh so miserable. It's not to gloat. It's more like, because they would be saying it with this King of Wands energy. I mean, this is somebody who's saying, I love you. I can't believe I messed this one up. I can't believe I did this. This is going to be the thing that I just need to tell you, who you are to me, how amazing you were. Their facade breaks down and they finally say it all. I don't see this doing anything other than cleaning out that old energy. We already saw that the Libra has a new soulmate, but I think if there was, sometimes it's about setting something right. Doesn't mean, I mean, obviously this person wants a Libra back, but I think instead it simply restores things. It sets things right. This person who should have loved the Libra before, who should have been that partner to them before, who should have, like actually given them something stable before, but they didn't. They wouldn't say that they loved this person, or they couldn't make themselves do that. They chose somebody else instead. I'm sorry, but that was an ugly little message over here. I didn't like that one at all with that Lover's card, that Gemini vibe. For them to have learned their lesson, even though they don't win the Libra back, there is a thing where it kind of like it sets things right again, and maybe that humbleness was something they needed to learn. And sometimes the biggest lesson anybody needs to learn is when you're callous, or you don't care about something precious, something sacred, you treat it like it doesn't matter. Guess what? That's a big lesson. You're not going to be allowed to have that. It's just like the universe is like a mom saying, "Oh, really? You're going to act like a jerk? Well, then guess what? You don't get to play with those toys anymore. You don't get to have this, this anymore. I'm going to take it away from you." And that's a hard lesson that this person has to learn, that they don't get the Libra back. But it's also kind of restorative. The Libra finally hears this. Doesn't matter at this point. They're already with a new soulmate, but it is restorative. That's what this storyline looks like to me. I don't want to keep going on this one. I don't really want to go down that road any further. Two of Cups in the reverse, Nine of Pentacles upright, Nine of Swords. I really think that there is a closing of a chapter. Maybe this one doesn't sound very, very happy, but I actually think that this is a terrific story, because I asked, what is that doorway? It turns out this doorway is, it's almost like, well, it's like it is double doors, because we have two things happening. We have a healed heart. Someone's walking through, our Libra is walking through with a healed heart. They're feeling so much better, and now we see why. And then we also see that they're closing a door, or one half of a door, on something that was a false twin flame. That's what it turned out to be. And it's closing a chapter on stress. It's closing a chapter on loneliness, and just thinking, well, I'll always be alone, and I'll just have to figure it out, and I'll just never have a partner beside me. That's the other thing. Like if this relationship had really shaken the Libra to the point where it's like, wow, somebody who chose somebody over me, like obviously that's not my person then, right? They thought that they could play games and then they could come back to me later on and all of that. Yeah, that's not my twin flame after all. And that might have shaken them, and that might have made them feel like they were always going to be alone, and there was a lot of stress surrounding that. All of that is getting closed out with this door. So it's definitely a door that has like two panels to it. I'm going to say this is a huge sense of relief. This whole story is such a huge sense of relief, because there's all that hurt and pain that was experienced. It turns out not like it was for nothing, but it turns out that there's so much better up ahead, and that it makes sense why this didn't work out, because that's not who the Libra was supposed to have ended up with anyway. So I'm going to leave that there. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you do enjoy my fictional storytelling, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. It's the only way I can keep doing it, is with your guys' free support, and then I will keep producing the free content. But thank you guys so much for choosing to visit and choosing to be here. All right, take care. Bye.